Okay, are you ready? Let's start. Esta es la última lista por ahora. This is the last list for now. This is the last list for the moment. This is the last list for the time being. Las tres valen. For now, for the moment, for the time being. This is the last list. It isn't the first list, it's the last list. ¿Por qué no coges unos días libres, Richard? Ahora me estoy hablando a mí mismo. Why don't you take a few days off? Why don't you take a few days off? To take a few days off. Okay, coger unos días libres, laborables, eh? To take a few days off. Don't worry about your vacation time. Just take a few days off. Unwind. Desenrollarse. Cuando uno está enrollado, uno está tenso y estresado. Se desenrolla. To unwind. To wind, you see, if my watch stops, well, I wind it. I wind the watch. And then I put it back on and it works. To unwind is impossible with a watch. For example, my wife. I bought my wife in the sección de esposas in the Corte Inglés. Third floor, wives. But my wife is the old model. And so you need to wind her up. And so about every 3 weeks, I open a little compartment on my wife's back and I wind my wife up and then, hello darling, how are you? Would you like a whiskey? Can I bring you your dinner now? And she works perfectly. It's an old model from the previous generation, but she still works very, very well. I've heard there are new models of wives in the Corte Inglés, but I haven't gone to see them. But I think I will keep my current model, okay, but it still works. But I have to wind her up. The new models are self-winding. When they move around the wives, it's automatic. They automatically wind up. Now, if you're tense, stressed, and feeling a lot of anxiety and tension, it's recommendable to take a few days off and to unwind. Because when you wind, to unwind, y se escribe como viento, wind. El inglés sí que es complicado, ¿a que sí? Por lo menos en la ortografía. Wind is viento. Wind is darle cuerda. But the spelling is exactly the same. So you know the correct pronunciation based on the context of the sentence you see or the sentence you hear, to wind. And to unwind is to relax and to eliminate tension and stress and anxiety, okay? ¿Por qué no coges unos días libres? Why don't you take a few days off? This is the last list for now. Why don't you take a few days off, okay? You've had enough English for now. You've had enough English for the time being. Take a few days off. Come on, unwind. Pero hay tanto trabajo que hacer, but there's so much work to do. There's so many things to do. I can't afford to take any days off. I can't afford to take time off. There are too many things that have to be done, and I have to do them. If I don't do them, who's going to do them? It's my responsibility. Of course, there are many things to do, and we need you for these things, but we need you to be balanced, stable, and happy. And now you're tense and stressed out. You're suffering acute anxiety, and so I think you need to unwind, take it easy, forget about your work for a few days. So take a few days off. Take next week off, all week. Take next week off, go wherever you want, just don't travel too far because I don't want you to suffer jet lag, and then come back the following Monday fresh and ready to conquer the world. Pero hay tanto trabajo que hacer, but there's so much work to do, there's so much work to do. Necesitas un descanso. You need a rest. You need a rest. I know what I'm saying. I've been working with you and other people for years, and I can tell when somebody needs a rest. And Martin, you need a rest, okay? I can tell. Tengo vista para saber si alguien está agotado. psíquicamente y físicamente. You are exhausted, physically and mentally. So it is an order. I'm the boss here. I don't care how much work has to be done. I don't care how many different matters you have waiting to be looked at or handled. You are going to take next week off, whether you like it or not, and you're going to promise me that you will unwind, do something that has no connection to your job. Go to Córdoba and see the Mezquita. Go to Granada and see the Alhambra. Pronuncio la Alhambra a lo inglés. La H suena. Alhambra. Si decís, did you visit the Alhambra in Granada? People don't understand you. Did you visit the Alhambra? I said, yes, of course. And to visit the Giralda or things in Parque María Luisa in Seville, come on. And go down to Huelva, go down to Ronda, visit Andalusia, see Andalusia from one side to the other, and then come back. Enjoy yourself. Take it easy. Necesitas un descanso. Pero cuando vuelvas, when you come back, or when you get back, tienes que organizar el trabajo en tu departamento. You have to organize the work in your department. Your department is a mess. It's your job. I appointed you the manager of that department last year. You've had 11 months to do something with your department, and still the department is a mess. Of course, I understand your reasons. I understand the problems. I understand that your department is growing very fast. Sales are going up. I know the sales in your department grew 22% last year. Of course, I understand. But your department is a mess. And you are administrating the sales very poorly. And in fact, I think you're losing sales, losing potential sales. If your department had been organized from the beginning, your sales wouldn't have grown 22%. Probably they would have grown 32%, because I'm sure that at least 20 or 30% of all the people ended up frustrated and they didn't buy. So you need to organize your department. All right. Nadie sabe por qué él se fue. Nobody knows. Nobody knows why he left. Nobody knows why he left. He simply left. He didn't say anything to anybody. He didn't leave a note for anybody. He didn't leave a message for anybody. He simply stopped coming to the office. One morning, I think it was a Tuesday, I said, hey, by the way, where's Charles today? I said, I don't know. Later, at about noon, around lunchtime, I said, hey, where's Charles today? I don't know. And finally, I called the Human Resources Department and said, listen, Charles Evans hasn't come today. Is he okay? And the Human Resources Department says, we don't know. Nobody took responsibility. And so later in the afternoon, I called HR again. HR, Human Resources, HR. I said, by the way, Charles Evans hasn't come today. I've called his cell phone and he doesn't answer. Do you know anything? And HR said, no, we know nothing. Okay. And the next day he didn't come either. And then the next day. And after about 5 days, we called the police. The company called the police because Charles Evans was a key employee in our organization. And he was a bachelor, 43 years old, a bachelor un soltero, single, he's a single man, a bachelor, 43, excellent worker, an excellent person. And he had a cell phone, but it was a company cell phone with a company number. I didn't know if he had a personal cell phone with a personal number. And of course I called, and the Human Resources Department called, Charles's number, Charles's number, and he didn't answer. Finally, after 5 days, we contacted the police. And the police went to his house and he wasn't there. No, nothing was there. They knocked and finally they broke into the house, forzando un poco la puerta. They broke into the house and there was no furniture. Charles Evans disappeared from the face of the earth. Decimos la cara de la tierra, no la faz. He disappeared from the face of the earth, and that was 2 years ago, and since then we have heard nothing. Y nadie sabe a dónde se fue, ni sabe por qué se fue. Nobody knows where he went and why he left. En un caso went, en other caso left. Nobody knows where he went, and nobody knows why he left. He simply disappeared from the face of the earth. And today, 7 years later, it is still a mystery. What happened to Charles Evans? If you know, tell me. If you know, let me know. Because it's simply a question of curiosity. I've always wondered, said, I wonder what happened to Charles Evans. I wonder where he went. I wonder why he left. I wonder what happened to him. ¿Qué le habrá pasado? ¿A dónde habrá ido? Okay, ¿dónde estará ahora? I wonder where he is now. I wonder. I wonder. Curiosa, cuando en castellano utilizáis muchas veces el futuro o el futuro perfecto. ¿Qué habrá pasado? ¿Qué le habrá pasado? I wonder what happened. Pasado simple en inglés con wonder delante. I wonder what happened to him. ¿Dónde se habrá ido? I wonder where he went. Pasado simple en inglés. Futuro perfecto en castellano. ¿Qué habrá de él? I wonder where he is. ¿Dónde estará ahora? Futuro simple en castellano. ¿Dónde estará? I wonder where he is. Presente simple en inglés. I wonder where he is. I don't know. I wonders, me pregunto. I wonder why. ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué se fue? ¿Por qué se habrá ido? I wonder why he left the company. I wonder what happened to him. ¿Qué le habrá pasado? I wonder what happened to him. I don't know. I'll ask him. What happened to him? Do you have any idea? I don't know. He simply left. Y nadie sabe por qué se fue. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. God only knows what happened to him. Because nobody knows why he left. No le dijo a nadie que pensaba marcharse. He didn't tell anybody he was planning to leave. He didn't tell anybody, not even his landlord, that he was leaving. He didn't tell me that he was planning to leave. He didn't tell the Human Resources Department that he was planning to leave. He didn't tell his landlord that he was planning to leave. He was renting a house. Well, he was renting an apartment, a nice apartment, a flat. And he had personally furnished the flat. So the furniture belonged to him. It didn't belong to the landlord or to the owner of the apartment. And 5 days later, when the police broke into the house, tuvieron que forzar la puerta because the landlord didn't have a key. Okay? And when they broke into the house, well, the police didn't break into the house, they called a locksmith. And a locksmith is un cerrajero. Blacksmith is un herrero. Goldsmith is uno de orfebre. Silversmith is platero. Okay? Smith. Entonces el apellido Smith, muy corriente, es cualquier hombre, en este caso, o mujer dedicado a estos menesteres o estos oficios. Okay? Blacksmith, locksmith, goldsmith, silversmith. Es curioso que black, negro, aquí se dice herrero porque es hierro, claro, o acero. But we say blacksmith. Maybe because it's everything, his hands are black, his face is black after 3 hours working. So the police called a locksmith. The locksmith opened the door. They went into the flat, and the flat was empty. Charles Evans had taken all the furniture and shipped it somewhere. And the police couldn't find where. It was a mystery for everybody. What happened to Charles Evans? We don't know. No le dijo a nadie que pensaba marcharse. He didn't tell anybody. He didn't tell anyone he was planning to leave. He simply left. Simplemente dejó de venir a la oficina. He simply stopped coming or quit coming to the office. Prefiero stop aquí. He simply stopped coming. Dejó de venir. He stopped coming. Dejó de fumar. He stopped smoking. Dejó de estudiar inglés. He stopped studying English. Dejó de llamarme. He stopped calling me. Stopped, y gerundio, calling, smoking, etc. Por favor, os ruego encarecidamente, no digáis jamás stop to infinitivo. To stop to smoke. ¿Ok? Porque no significa en absoluto de dejar de fumar. De hecho, algo lo contrario. Se paró para fumar un cigarro. Se detuvo para fumar. Es to stop to smoke. Si cometés ese error, vais a despistar del todo al interlocutor. Stop smoking. Deja de fumar. Stop smoking. Deja de venir. Stop coming. Deja de mirarme. Stop looking at me. Stop looking at me like that. Stop sitting in that stranger. Stop moving. Sit still. Stop moving around. Okay? All right? Stop getting distracted and pay attention to me. Él dejó de venir a la oficina. He stopped coming to the office. Deja de hacerme tantas preguntas, ¿quieres? Stop asking. ¿Ves? Stop asking, not stop to ask. Stop to ask sería, oye, detente para hacerme una pregunta. Ahora, deja de hacerme una pregunta, tantas preguntas. Stop asking, stop asking, stop asking. La P se enlaza con la A de asking. Stop asking me. So many questions. I'm tired of your questions. You keep asking me questions after question after question, and you're a pain in the neck. Eres un dolor en el cuello. Eres un pesado. You're a pain in the neck. You keep asking me questions, and most of your questions are irrelevant. So, stop asking me so many questions, okay? Start listening more and trying to understand what I'm saying. And stop asking me so many specific questions. All right? Just absorb the English I'm saying. Don't worry about taking notes. If you're sitting on the couch or on the edge of your bed, el borde de la cama, with a notebook taking notes of things I'm saying, I think it's a mistake. Because everything I say is relevant. Everything I say. And you need to absorb the sounds first. Don't worry about the specific what and why and how. You can find that in a grammar book or in any book or in the internet. You can go to the internet and you can find thousands and thousands and thousands of pages about English. It explains the meaning of every word and the formation of every type of grammatical structure. But what you can't do very often is hear an intelligent flow of words in English and simply let your ear register softly and absorb the general meaning. And if you don't understand 100%, it doesn't matter. Continue exposing your ear. Exposición a la música del idioma, primero, aunque no entiendas nada. Al final vas entendiendo mucho, porque en 9 de cada 10 veces, si no has entendido algo, de verlo por escrito lo entenderías casi perfectamente. Entonces, es cuestión de discriminación de sonidos, no es una cuestión de conocer vocabulario que el otro está usando. It's not true. So just relax and stop asking me so many questions. Stop taking so many notes. Yeah. I remember a man in Vigo, a listener of Vaughan Radio, listening to my program every day, 3 hours every day, listening. And he recorded my program apart and listened to it many times. And he transcribed 3 hours of radio every day. He spent about 6 hours with the English language or more. And he sent to me a book of 1 month of my radio class that he had transcribed. I was shocked. I was impressed. I said, wow. But I sent him an email. I said, I think that was counterproductive. That's not the way to learn English. It's better to relax, forget your paper and pencil, and listen, close your eyes if necessary, and just softly listen and quietly absorb the sounds and the music of the language hasta que empiece a sonar familiar y no extranjero, ajeno a chino, a quechua. Okay? And then you start to understand, you start to feel the meanings, maybe nebulously at the beginning, but less nebulously as the days progress. And after 1 year, you say, anda, pues entiendo muy bien, ¿por qué será? It's because 90% of everything I say is in book 1 for beginners. You're simply not you're not discriminating sounds and you're not recognizing them. Okay. Vamos a seguir. Let's go on. Estoy aquí para ayudarte. I'm here to help you. That's my purpose. I'm here to help you. I'm not here to hinder you, to hamper your progress. I'm here to help. Lo contrario de help is to hinder. Con H. Hinder, escrito con H. I'm not here to hinder you. I'm here to help you. Okay, I'm part of the solution. I'm not part of the problem. Pues si estás aquí para ayudarme, entonces deja de hablar tanto. Then stop talking. Gerundio otra vez. Deja de hablar tanto. Stop talking so much. You're talking all the time. Talk, 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 talk. La de talk es muda, ¿eh? Talk. No decimos talk. Talk. Igual que andar. Walk. Okay? Talk. If you're here to help me, then stop talking so much and listen to me, all right? All right. Este libro ha sido muy fácil. We're on the last page, by the way. This book has been very easy. El próximo será un poco más difícil. The next one will be a little more difficult. Tardo media hora en repasar cada lista. It takes me an hour to go over every list. Mucha gente ni siquiera estudia estas listas. A lot of people don't even study these lists. No quiero causar más problemas. I don't want to cause any more problems for you. If you're obsessed with the English language, if you suffer acute anxiety with the English language, well, I'm sorry. I'm here to help you, not to hinder you. And so no quiero causarte más problemas. I don't want to cause you any more problems. I'm sorry. I don't want to cause you. Tienes una forma extraña de pedir las cosas. You have a strange way of asking for things. You have a strange way of asking. Una forma de, way of, una manera de, a way of, un modo de, a way of, gerundio. You have a strange way of asking for things. You have a strange way of looking at me. You have a strange way of approaching the English language. You have a strange way of sitting, in my opinion, to watch me, okay? No voy a poder terminar hoy. I'm not going to be able to finish today. No voy a poder. I'm not going to be able. I'm not going to be able. It's a long, many syllables. I'm not going to be able to finish today. Estoy convencido de que saben la verdad. I'm convinced. They know the truth. I'm convinced you know the truth. Y si este micrófono no funciona, me mataré. If this microphone doesn't work, I'll kill myself. It has to work. No lo tomes a la ligera. Don't take it lightly. Don't take English lightly, but don't get stressed out, okay? Don't get tense, but don't take it lightly. It takes a long time to learn a language, a very long time. Longer than people say, okay? It took me a long time to learn Spanish, a very long time. It took me a long time to learn French well. It took me 5 years to learn English well, from age 0 to age 5, recibiendo 12 a 15 horas de inputs a diario, including Saturday and Sunday when I was growing. So it takes a long time, even for little children, to learn their native language. Little children between the age of 0 and 5 receive 12 hours of language per day, every 365 days a year. Okay, that's 1,200 days multiplied by 10, so or 12. A child between the age of 0 and 5 receives 12,000 hours of inputs. And you need 3,000 hours of inputs. It's going to take a long time. But if you do it, if you join me and we go together, it will be very stimulating for you. Fun, interesting, and at the same time, if you succeed, si tienes éxito en esto, if you succeed, it will be very stimulating for me and make my job much more attractive. So I invite you to come with me. Come with me and let's go together and let's learn this language together. Good luck and thank you very much and see you again another day. Bye-bye.